Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today my video is about the silicone sponge. Now I don't know if there is an OG sponge like there is the Beauty Blender. You know those ads that you see on Facebook on the side? I just saw one and I clicked on it and purchased this one. I'll link all the details for this down below where I purchased it and the website. It is so squishy. I just so am tempted to just bite it, but let's not do that. I'm not quite sure how to apply foundation with this. This is really strange, but let's give this a go. Okay, so I've got nothing on my face. I did a video on this eye look from my graduation makeup. Please check that out and I'll link it down below. Squishy. So give you guys a closer look. I'm going to use the Urban Decay finishing spray as a primer because this is the first thing that's, near my reach today. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in Cashew. Let's do this. Should I do half Beauty Blender? I'm going to do half Beauty Blender. Okay, so I'm going to dot this foundation all over my face, and I'm going to try to make sure that I do it evenly on both sides. Okay, now that we're all polka dotted face, I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender first to blend in this side of my face. So I'm just using a normal damp Beauty Blender and I'm just going to pat as I do. See, there's not much struggle with this. It's pretty flawless. The dots that I have placed on my face seem to be enough to cover that side of my face. I'm also going to do the bridge of my nose because I just see this ruining my brows. Beauty Blender on the rescue. Now that's done. Now we're going to go in with the silicone sponge to blend out the other side of my face. I don't really know how to do this. Do I swipe? Maybe I should tap. Slapping the product into my face, but tapping seemed to be working a lot better than swiping. So I tried to be really even with the amount of foundation that I put on both of my sides, but with the silicone sponge, it's kind of just sitting on top of my face. It's not really blending in as the Beauty Blender does, but it feels like I have too much foundation on this side. So I'm guessing that the Beauty Blender absorbs the foundation a bit as well. Carve my brows out with this though. Oh, wrong side. Okay. No, it's too big to fit in this side, so what I'm going to do is try to fold it or bend it, and hopefully it doesn't ruin my brows. And like around my nose and stuff, I'm just going to bend the silicone sponge so it kind of fits in. So that's what the silicone sponge looks like after you have finished blending your foundation. I'm going to be using this Models Prefer brush cleaner, and I'm just gonna spray it and sort of just wipe it with a paper towel. I literally want to bite into this because it feels like jelly. It's so squishy. It's pretty easy to clean. That's what I like about it. In terms of makeup application, it looks really cakey on the silicone sponge side, but it looks really nice and airbrushly blended out on the Beauty Blender side. As I said, I tried to be fair with the test and I put the same amount of foundation on each side, but I don't think you need as much product with the silicone sponge as you would with the Beauty Blender. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but this side is very perfectly blended in together and you can't see any creases, whereas this side is slightly cakey, I would say, and it feels heavy as well, and it feels like I've used too much foundation on this side than compared to this side. To be honest, in terms of how it just looks heavier on this side than it does on this side. I can't see any creasing on my skin. I know other videos have reported some creasing, but I don't see any creasing. Maybe it's because how you apply it. I patted mine in and it wasn't too bad, but I think if you try to apply it with less product, it will blend in quite nicely with the skin. From far away, it looks like fine. So like if you were standing like this distance, you can't really tell what's what. But I personally love the feel of the Beauty Blender. I do feel like the Beauty Blender is quicker. It gives you more of like an airbrush look and it blends in with your skin really nicely. Whereas the silicone sponge kind of pats the foundation onto your skin. I'm not going to try to do concealer with the silicone sponge because of how it felt on this side putting the foundation on. In terms of visible differences, there is none, except for this one's slightly more coverage than this one. I mean, it might not be too bad, but I just don't like the feel of this side of my face. But I think this is great for if you're a makeup artist and you want to keep this in your kit. It's very sanitary. People who use beauty blenders, they're going to have to wash the beauty blender to use it on someone else's face if you're doing more than one people's makeup. So that's where Beauty Blender kind of is more time consuming in terms of more of like a clientele makeup kind of scenario. With the silicone sponge, you can just wipe it off and just, you know, do it on the next person. I will have to let it settle in. If I see any other major differences, I'll let you guys know. But in terms of visible, there is no visible difference in terms of feeling the product or makeup on my skin. This side is very heavy compared to the Beauty Blender side. Okay, so I've done the rest of my makeup and I think it takes a longer time to settle in compared to the Beauty Blender, but now I can't tell the difference between which one's a silicone sponge and which one's the Beauty Blender. So that's really good. The only thing I don't like it is in terms of settling in. It doesn't really settle into your skin. I tried to carve my lip shape out with concealer and it completely, as soon as I pressed the brush, it moved the foundation and there was like a patch there. Hopefully it's not still there, but it was there. Silicone sponge side requires a lot less makeup product in compared to the Beauty Blender. You could save a lot of money for your foundation lasting you a longer amount of time. I actually don't mind the look of the silicone sponge that it gives. It does give a very full coverage. So yeah, there's a little pros and cons about the Beauty Blender. There's not actually any con about Beauty Blender, but with the silicone sponge, there's a few things. I think it's different for everyone how they use it. I've seen some videos where people have not liked it at all, but I don't actually mind it. I just think it's a little bit more time consuming than the Beauty Blender. I'll probably be reaching out for the Beauty Blender a lot more than I do the silicone sponge, but I'll do a few more videos with it so you guys can see how it's going. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you'd like to see how I got this look, I will link the video down below. And do let me know if you found something different with the silicone sponge than I did, and let me know if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll be seeing you guys real soon. See you next time, guys. Bye.